Support for 100 Watts and a Wire is brought to you by 100wattsandawire.com. To subscribe to the show, simply click the RSS feed. While you're there, apply for your free 100 Watts ID and learn how you can help make 100 Watts and a Wire listener supported. Click the donate page and pick the option that works best for you. We've got a traveling toolkit, 100 Watts and a Wire gear, and more. That's 100wattsandawire.com. And ICOM. Pack your bags because the Dayton Hamvention is coming up from May 17th through the 19th at the Greene County Fairgrounds and Expo Center. You can see the latest and greatest ICOM gear and meet hams from all over the world. Visit icomamerica.com/amateur for more information. And LDG. LDG makes small, lightweight tuners ideal for portable and emergency operations. Some can operate on internal batteries for months of normal use, making them easy to carry, install, and use in the field. Visit ldgelectronics.com.
And now, from Grid Square Echo Mike 48, this is 100 Watts and a Wire.
Hey now, it's Christian, Kilo Zero Sierra Tango Hotel. How you doing? All right, I'm doing just fine. Over the weekend, we had spring here in this part of Missouri. Just 2 days of it. That's right, we go from 30s and 40s to 60s and 70s. For 2 days, just 2 days. And then it is hotter than a $2 pistol up in this summer. It seems like that season doesn't stick around long, man. It's just, here you go, here's a couple of nice days, now burn. I burnt my neck up on Saturday because, you know, it's kind of like get your yard work started and your garden. Get in the garden, and I like to garden. That's one of my other hobbies. It's really just radio and gardening. It's all I have time for. And many times I feel like, oh man, let's pack up the garden. And then I get out there and I'm just so happy. It's the weeds that get us the biggest challenge. Sometimes it's weather, but I'd like to just watch it grow. And have you ever had a homegrown potato? My farmer friends are out there going, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm not talking tater tots. Now, my kids love some tater tots. When it's daddy time, daddy's making dinner, which is quite a bit. Trying to find the balance of what these children will eat, 4 and 8 years old, you know. But a real fresh potato that you've grown, that you pulled out of the earth and put it on your plate, just X amount of paces away from the garden, man, it is hard to beat a homegrown potato. Try it out. You don't need a lot of space for it. I mean, you kind of do, but, you got it. Stop being greedy. Stop being greedy with yourself. Get a concrete buster and bust that driveway up and plant some potatoes. What are you thinking? Park on the street. It's selfish. But yeah, got some good sunburn on Saturday because spring came and then, kind of went away. And then now a full-blown summer here. Yeah, I know we're only into the second week of April, but it's just how it kind of rolls anymore. And if you're a reasonable homeowner or renter, you clean some things up. There's things you want to do. And if you enjoy planting or growing anything, if nothing else, you enjoy that machine that sits between your legs and cuts that grass. Makes you feel good. Well, it kicked my rear end, gave me a nice sunburn on my neck. I thought, just wear a ball cap out there. Not on Sunday. Now, Sunday, they said, look, it is going to rain. You're going to be back inside. It's spring in Missouri. What are you going to do? Woke up, sunny. And it was like, it's actually, we kind of, sorry. And they're looking at their feet and kicking them. Oh, I'm just sorry. We thought it would rain. Right, we understand. I understand. You're wrong. So it was going to rain in the evening, deeper into the evening, maybe 6, 7 o'clock. So went back out there and I thought, man, I've got some time. I had plans to do some inside stuff, but I'm going to set up portable. And of course, I posted this on the Facebook group and because I need it. It was either go ahead and take a nap. You just woke up 2 hours ago, but go ahead and just take a nap. It's Sunday. You deserve it. On the other side, I was like, we could set up an antenna out there, either in the, the old wooden shed, which is on the edge of the woods in my property. Old wooden shed used to be a catch-all type of deal, and I kind of converted it, and last year went nutty. I put solar in there, and next thing you know, I was like, you're not even out there, dude. You're on the edge of the woods. You've got solar set up and batteries, and you may not use this location. Let's make it a location. You bring your stuff out here type of deal. How about that? You're always negotiating with yourself, and frankly, I needed that solar panel in a different location. Things change, needs change, wants change. So I got out there on Sunday, covered up my neck, and I thought old wooden shed would be good because I burnt myself up. Let's not, we don't want to go back out into the field and get all crispy and peely on, look like a rookie. You've already got a sunburn and it's peeling, dude. Kind of gross. Set up out there and went to my traditional homemade Pathfinder modeled after the Radio Waves Pathfinder. And I believe it was probably the beta model, at least the Ballon. And I think it was like a 1:16. I can't remember what he built. This is Emmett at Radio Waves. And what I went and I had rebuilt the wire part of it just to kind of do it myself. And this was, a year or so or more ago. Just to do it. I wanted to do that. But I can't, really duplicate the Ballon part of it, but it works. This antenna works for me. And if I can get it up higher, up around 35, 40 feet on this mast, we're in good shape. A little bit lower than that, she may need a tuner. I may have to kind of wheel it in a little bit. Anywho, we get out there, I set it up, beautiful day. My girls are out there playing. They're doing their thing. They use the wooden shed like a little schoolhouse. It's like their HQ. It has water and all sorts of stuff. I set it up, and just listened and made a couple of contacts. 4. And I have to say, you could almost feel that the weather has changed because it was the Missouri QSO party, and I didn't think I'd hear a ton of stations because I'm in Missouri. But I thought the bands themselves were kind of empty of use. Not necessarily that of conditions. Conditions have been bad for a long time, so they say. Again, I don't subscribe to the propaganda or propagation reports. I sit down and try to, run whenever I can. That's just all I can do. I can't be picky and choosy. Got some time, sit down. Sit down. So I didn't think the bands were horrible. I saw signals. I just didn't see as many, and you could almost feel that spring was here, and maybe many of you were doing what I was doing. Yard work. Stuff like that. But Sunday brought a new opportunity, and we took it, made some contacts. East Coast, like the Southeast, Georgia, and maybe North Carolina. But we did some East Coast stuff. I don't remember anything out west. But, I wasn't really chasing. I did set up, try to make some contacts on our 100 Watts in a Wire Facebook group. Just posted up there. It's very helpful. I mean, calling CQ is fun too. But spotting services are cool. But I like to just say, hey, I'm on 20 meters. Anybody's around, post up a frequency. If you can find one, I'll try to catch you there. And we do. We try to do that. Also want to thank CQ Magazine for featuring us. Page 38 and I think 39 of the April edition of CQ Magazine. There's a feature about audio podcasts, ham radio audio podcast, and we are listed as one of the favorites. So I appreciate that for sure. It's taken us 195 episodes to make it to the big time. But finally in print, that's what I mean, finally in print. Thank you, CQ Magazine, for showing us off. I also want to welcome a new broadcast affiliate, WBCQ in Maine. That's 5130 is the frequency. Friday evenings at 10 o'clock Central. 10 o'clock Eastern. 10 p.m. Eastern time, that would be 9 o'clock Central. And so on. A new broadcast affiliate. That takes us up to a number of 14 broadcast affiliates carrying the show. Appreciate all of our affiliate stations. This is the second shortwave station, WBCQ in Maine. Welcome. And if you're into amateur radio, check us out online at www.100wattsandawire.com, 100wattsandawire.com. You can learn about the show. You can subscribe there. You can subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. And you can listen on shortwave radio as well. Friday nights, 10 p.m. Central. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Rhea's here this week. We'll talk to her next.
CQ, CQ, CQ. This is 100 watts and a wire.
ICOM's newest SDR transceiver, the IC9700, is coming soon. This new radio is bringing direct sampling to the UHF-VHF weak signal world. The IC9700 all-mode transceiver is loaded with innovative features such as dedicated amateur satellite operation, a color touchscreen, D-Star capability, RF direct sampling on 2-meter and 70-centimeter bands, dual independent receivers capable of full duplex operation, as well as dual watch, and 100 watts max output power on 2 meters, 75 watts on 70 centimeters, and 10 watts max on 1.2 gigahertz. Visit icomamerica.com/amateur for more information on all ICOM radios. And Bio-NO Power, offering the best performance lithium iron phosphate batteries for your ham radios. Visit bionopower.com. That's BIOENNOPOWER.com. Or contact dealers nationwide.
When in doubt, hang 'em high. This is 100 watts and a wire.
I want to talk to you about our Sunday evening net. 0100 UTC, 7 o'clock Central Time, 3 net controllers. Get on the air on HF, usually on 40 meters. Sometimes we'll move to 80 meters, 75-meter phone. And we start taking your calls. Steve, W7UDI in Washington State. Myself, K0STH in Missouri. And Ian, Whiskey 1, Juliet India Whiskey in Maine. Between the three of us, we managed to hear a lot of your signals, even in the muck. We talk about the solar whatever and the sun cycles, and, we just get on the air and start trying. And we move the ball around to get as many of you in on our net as we can. But I want to let you know it's out there because now we have listeners in all 4 corners of the earth. Shortwave radio is fascinating. Couple that with the digital downloads of a podcast and streaming services. I mean, it's getting out there, but not everybody knows where we are on Sunday night. So mark it on your calendars. Even if we're not there for an official net, we try to have a gathering of the willing. The official gathering of the willing can only be heard and found with 100 watts and a wire, and it is a safety net, if you will. If we can't get together, say it's the Christmas holiday, or we decide we're going to take a couple of weeks off and break, anyone can start a gathering of the willing. This started way back in 2015, and it was because there was an inconsistency with the way we were running the net. We were still trying to figure things out. And to still get on the air and encourage people to get on the air, I created the Gathering of the Willing, and this meant that anybody, you could start a net. You could be on a digital mode. Now, it would help to add your post and post that frequency. Pick and post. I call it pick and post. Your frequency on the 100 Watts and Wire Facebook page or Twitter. Let people know where you are. And that is a Gathering of the Willing. You can host it. The original Gathering of the Willing. It is also a safety net for when the holiday comes or vacations come and net controls need time off. You need to rest the horses sometimes, friends. Then a Gathering of the Willing can crop up and you can host it. Any band, any mode, going back to 2015. So there you go. We'll see you this Sunday night on HF, probably 40 meters around 7.192. Plus or minus, and if the band is atrocious, we'll go to 75 meter phone and try it out. But spin the dial, listen for the 100 watts at a wire, Sunday evening net. Earlier this year, we started a special ops segment. Frankly, I can't cover or present each facet to this great hobby and service. So I've brought some people in who will study the next generation, who will study off-grid and grid-down communications, share satellites, and contesting. Oh, it is a contesting week. Rhea is here, N2RJ.
This one's for all technicians. Yes, you. So listen up. If you just passed that 35-question test and you're about to get bitten by the radio bug, listen up. But before someone hands you an HT and you figure that life begins and ends on the local machine, I'd pause for a minute and tell you that you can try contesting. But how? I'm a tech. Yes, you are a tech. But you have access to much more spectrum than you realize. And the spectrum you knew you had access to could also be much more useful than you think. So first, let me talk about a bit of history. Long ago, there was the novice license. There still is the novice license, and some do exist, but they're not issuing new ones anymore. It was really a true beginner's license, where one had to pass a Morse code test, a written exam, and you get a small section of the HF bands to play on. It was mostly on CW. Eventually, they added a portion of 10 meters with phone privileges and some space on 220. Eventually, they reformed that when they dropped the code requirement and they gave techs the novice privileges and then gave techs and novices the same privileges as generals on some of the same HF bands, namely 80, 40, and 15 meters. The only difference really is that they can run 200 watts, and it's CW only, of course. So really, what does this mean? It means that you have access to several popular DX bands on HF, and you have the access to pretty much all of VHF and UHF. So let's talk about HF. I know CW, also known as Morse code, may be intimidating to some. It's really the oldest mode that we use in amateur radio, but it's still used by many. If you don't know CW, don't panic. You can still either do one of two things. You can learn CW or use a computer. I'd really recommend the former because let's face it, computers can't decode as well as a human can, and CW in and of itself is still fun to learn. You can check out CW Ops, CW Academy for classes. They have mentors who guide you from your first DIT to the Gettysburg Address, and well beyond too. Really a great bunch of guys. So as far as computers go though, you can set up your computer to decode, and your computer can decode using software like CW Get and CW Skimmer. But in my experience, it tends to be a little more unreliable than your ears, so I wouldn't really depend on it, but it's something you can do. But I don't have a key. You don't need a key. You should probably still get one. I'd recommend getting a set of paddles because the straight key is kind of, you can be slow and it's a little more tedious. With paddles, most rigs today have automatic keyers and you can use those and then transmit CW that way. But a lot of people just use their computers. You see, some radios will do Morse code from the computer with simple commands from the contest logging software via the USB cable. Others will still require a separate interface. Basically, it's just a serial port connected to the key jack. And then the computer will issue commands to just turn the key line on and off, and then you can send a CW. So you can find these cheaply online, maybe on some of the like eBay or Amazon or whatever. I have like literally 5 or 6 of them in my junk box. You wire it up, you plug in, and away you go. Then you can set your macros and contests by push button. And you set up one for CQ, you set up one for the exchange, and then you set up one for thanks, and you set up one for QRZ. A lot of push button contesting. Easy, right? Well, it is now that I've told you. Well, let's see. But I still don't want to do Morse code. All right, I hear you. you still have options. For one, that technician license comes with phone privileges on 10 meters. This means that during most DX contests and some domestic ones, you can still make contest contacts on phone on 10 meters. Wow, how cool is that, right? You'll have a lot of success working South America and the Caribbean, and in the high sunspot years, you can even work Europe. There's even a whole contest dedicated to 10 meters. So a contest just for you, huh? But 10 meters is dead. Well, it kind of is at this point in the solar cycle, but you still have options. Do you know that there are VHF contests? Yes, contests on 6 meters, 2 meters, 70 centimeters, and 1.25 meters, and up, and then even up into the microwave region. Many of them are on single sideband, CW, FT8, and other digital modes. These contests won't be run fests where you sit and call CQ and work a ton of stations, but rather they're more relaxed, slower paced, and might be a little challenging. There are even some people who put a lot of antennas on their vehicles and they drive around. I had a chance to drive around with Andrea K2 Echo Zulu, and she's been roving. And we even won the June VHF contest, but she has a ton of antennas on the vehicle. But we went around, we worked some grids, and, we had a lot of fun. It was pretty interesting. Anyway, sometimes you might find that 6 meters can open up and give you opportunities to run. So there are your options. And of course, with great power comes great responsibility. Use it wisely, and congratulations on that technician license if you've just gotten into amateur radio. And even if you haven't, congratulations anyway. This is probably the first time you're hearing me say that to you. Take care. For 100 watts in a wire, I am Rhea Jaram, N2RJ.
LDG Electronics provides state-of-the-art antenna tuners for every amateur need, from QRP to QRO, fixed station, portable and remote, matching your radio to your antenna using our lightning-fast proprietary tuning algorithms. Our generic desktop tuners work automatically with nearly any radio, while our brand-specific tuners are customized to popular models. LDG's Zero Power tuners are ideal for portable or mobile use, as they consume almost no power at all in their standby state. Some can be powered by internal batteries that last for months of normal use. Our weatherproof remote tuners install at the antenna feed point, greatly reducing SWR losses in the coax. LDG tuners are backed by our 2-year fully transferable warranty and our legendary customer service, the best in the industry. Visit us on the web at ldgelectronics.com. And SNS Engineering, an engineering design firm specializing in hardware and industrial design. From concept to production, we have a range of 19-inch rack mount solutions for Elecraft, ICOM, and Kenwood radios. Also available are tabletop aluminum racks to streamline your installation for desktop use. Custom designs are our specialty. Visit us online at snsengineering.com.
Whether you say 73 or 73, even 73s, we're still 100 watts and a wire.
Last week, I let you know that we are going to be doing the 100 watts and a wire antenna tune-up. This is the first time we have featured the antennas. So what we're going to do on June 7th, 8th, and 9th, we're going to get on the air. We're going to talk about our antennas. So what you would do is you'd call CQ, 100 watts and a wire antenna tune-up. Take some calls. Let people know your call sign, where you are, what sort of antenna are you using, how high is it, and how much power are you running. Now, this isn't a contest, but there are some prizes involved. And you can enter this random drawing on our website at 100wattsandawire.com. So when you visit the website, look at the Activity Days page. There it will give you all the information, the start and the end times in UTC, give you the exchange. And today I want to tell you just about some of the sponsors who are involved with giving away prizes. It's a random drawing. Usually my kids will pick. We'll put all the names who played next to all the prizes. One gets a letter, one gets a number. It's all mixed up. They get matched up by the children. They don't even know your names. Well, Chameleon is going to give away an antenna. BioNO Power is going to give away a lithium battery and charger. CQ Magazine will give away 3-year digital edition subscriptions. That's one for each day of the event. PowerFilm Solar will give away a solar panel. And that is like a whole portable rig. I mean, minus the radio. You bring the radio, you've got portable power. Now, we're not going to give away the whole thing to just one person. I like to give away, more to more people. And then we do this again come October. But for now, the antenna tune-up, mark it on your calendar, friends. June 7th through the 9th. Any band, any mode, any time. Make as many contacts as you like. I'd like you to at least get 10, even the smallest program for the parks. To make it count, you have to have 10, right? Doing one contact and sending it in and winning a really sexy battery is kind of, I don't know if that's fair when you've got somebody else doing 100 contacts or 45. Let's do 10. A 10 minimum contact over a 3-day period, you can do that. And if you win a cool battery or a solar panel or an antenna, it'll be worth it. I think so. All right? I also want you to consider becoming a sustaining member. We have several, and I really appreciate the members that we do have, but we need new ones too. We have to, some people come and some people go. The sustaining member, these companies that you hear here, that I've mentioned who are providing prizes, are the same members who are part of the sustaining membership program. Even more are part of the sustaining member program. Why can't I say it properly? Here's how it works. You give $25 to the show. I use it for production and distribution. You now get the benefit of getting a discount with any participating company in that program. The third piece of this is they can earn your business. And look, 10% or even more off of a project or an expensive antenna could put you over the top. It could give you a little bit of extra money in your pocket. Again, go to the website, 100wattsandawire.com. Look at becoming a sustaining member. You can find that on the donate page. Those of you who have donated in April of 2018, your subscriptions are going to be coming up at the end of the month, so make sure you check your email. I'll send a reminder to you to let you know, but I don't chase you down. So if you want to continue with the discount and the program, you find value in this program, that's for you. That's my biggest pitch. That's all I've got for you. All right, friends, we're going to leave it there for now. Again, welcoming our new audience at WBCQ in Maine. That's 5130. Listen to this show Friday night at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. And thanks again to CQ Magazine for featuring us as part of a ham radio audio podcast feature. That feels good inside. Next week, we'll sing 5959. Everybody, 59, bounce with me. Bounce with me. That's the title. The record label said, look, it's a little long. I don't know if we should be putting out a single with the name of 5959. Everybody, 5959, bounce with me, bounce with me. But sometimes you have to just hold on to your integrity. And for me, I'm trying to do this every day of my life. The song is called 5959. Everybody, 59, bounce with me, bounce with me. And I wish I could share the music part of that with you today, but, we're just working on it. It was released off of the southern tip of Chile, and they loved it, ate it up in Chile. Hello, Chile. Look, let me stop and get out of here. I would love for you to think for yourselves, take care of yourselves, and take care of your families, and by all means, if you can, please try and stay above the noise.
To join the 100 Watts and a Wire community, visit 100wattsandawire.com.